is ready. Stand by.
For the last few weeks, we've been talking about the components of a rifle, specifically the scope of a rifle, and more specifically, first focal plane, second focal plane scopes, zeroing at 10 yard for a 5,200 yard zero. Today, we're going to talk about zeroing your rifle and a really easy way to do it. I'm Jimmy with Rhino Tactical, and you're going to learn something today. Zeroing your rifle scope on paper involves aligning the point of aim, basically where your reticle is, with the point of impact, where the bullet hits the target at a specific distance. This process is crucial for accurate shooting. So first off, let's talk about where you're going to place your target. Now place your target at your chosen zeroing distance. Now I've talked about a 10 yard 50, but a close distance like 25 yards is actually a good starting point, especially if you're a new shooter or have a newly scoped mounted on your rifle. This actually ensures you get on paper initially, and later, if you guys want, you can move it out to 100 for final zeroing. So now that you've established where you're going to put your target at what distance, you need to make sure that you have a stable shooting platform. So you could either use a bench with sandbags or bipod on your rifle, or I recommend just go prone and use sandbags on your handguard or a bipod. That way you can get the most accurate and steady shooting position. So first off, let's talk about several methods of utilizing your scope to get on paper. So one of the ways for bolt action rifles, we're going to go into this before we get into the AR-15 sporting rifles, but for bolt action rifles, what you want to do is remove the bolt, look through the bore, align the barrel with the center of the target, and then without moving the rifle, adjust your scope until the reticle is also centered on the target. So now that we've talked about the bolt action rifle and how to sight that in, let's quickly talk about the AR-15 sporty rifle and how to sight that in. Now, there are several apparatuses out there on the market that they sell. One of the most commonly used ones is one like this that you can attach to the front of the barrel, and it projects a laser dot onto your target, and it will allow you to set your scope up very fast and get zeroed in real quick. I personally like to use this method. It is a laser cartridge in 223-556. It fits inside your breech and it projects a dot very, very nicely onto the target. Now, it's pretty cool. You could take the dot onto your target and adjust your scope's windage and elevation until the reticle aligns with the projected dot. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about the 556 laser cartridges that I use. Now these cartridges are available anywhere. You can get them for like $15.99 on Amazon. This particular one is by Fiachi. They're not sponsoring me. I bought this for the company, bought several of these so that we can sight rifles in real quick. This one comes with instructions. It comes with 3 triple batteries, and each time you load it in, it takes a triple battery. So they last very, very long. And it's a good little unit. It has an off-on switch on the back. You can quickly put it on and off. And this is an easy way to get you on paper fast, because you don't want to just go out there, set up the target and shoot. Your scope might be headed towards Kentucky. You don't know where that reticle is going to be. So if you use something like this, this will get you on paper, like in your house. You can go maybe 10, 15 yards, put it on paper. That way, when you put it out to 100 yards, at least you'll be able to hit the paper with your scope. So now that we've talked about distance, tools, and shooting from a stable position to actually zero your rifle, let's talk about some details about the scope. Now the scope that you're going to adjust has 2 knobs, and one is on the side. This controls your windage from left to right, and on the top knob, this controls your elevation, which is up and down. Okay, so understanding the windage and elevation elements, these control the horizontal and vertical movement of your bullet's point of impact. Again, the top elevation knob, it adjusts the point of impact up or down. So turning the turret up will move the point of impact higher on the target. So let's talk about the windage knob on the side, which adjusts left to right. The turret adjusts the point of impact left or right. So turning the turret to the right will move the point of impact in the direction to the right. Now, to quickly talk about what an MOA or a milliradian is, let's just give you the speeded up lesson for MOA. Now, it's just a given measurement of distance between the zero impact point and the point of impact at a given distance. So 1 MOA at 100 yards is 1 inch. 1 MOA at 200 yards is 2 inches. 1 MOA at 300 yards is 3 inches. So at 100 yards, if I am 2 inches up and 2 inches to the right, that means I am 2 MOA up vertically and 2 MOA to the right horizontally. So if I'm at 300 yards and I'm 1 MOA up and 1 MOA to the right, this would mean that I am 3 inches up and 3 inches to the right off of my target. Remember, 1 MOA at 300 yards is 3 inches. So now that you've shot your rifle into a target that's 100 feet, let's talk about how we're going to adjust a MOA scope onto paper. So remember, I'm going to be using this 223 cartridge, which is a laser cartridge, and we've shot our group, and our group ends up on this target over here. Now, just so we use the same technical specs that we've been talking about, this group is 2 inches up and 2 inches over. Now remember, 1 MOA at 100 yards is 1 inch. So if I'm 2 inches up and 2 inches to the left, I'm going to be 2 MOA off to up and 2 MOA off to the left. So if my scope calibrates in 1/4 inch increments, that means I'm going to take and divide my 1/4 inch increments into 2 inches. So 1/4 inch into 2 inches is 8. So you're going to adjust 8 clicks to the right and 8 clicks down. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of adjusting this up and then to the right. No, once you shoot your group over here, you take your group, you take the point of impact, and you superimpose it by moving it 8 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, closer to the point of aim, and then 8 clicks down, which represent 2 inches. Okay, so we're going to talk about other things such as milliradians later, but quickly to get you on paper, this was a fantastic example of how to do it quickly with the 223 cartridge. And now you know a little bit about MOAs and what those stand for, different targets and different distances, excuse me. So if you enjoyed this video, just to let you guys know, we're not monetized. We don't make any money off this. We don't bring our sponsors here or anything like that. What we're making these videos for is to pass on the knowledge. So if you guys like these videos, please like and subscribe. And it's not to make money. It's not to do things. By the way, if we ever end up monetizing, what we're going to do is we are going to donate all the money to charity or donate it to Veterans Affairs or whatever we have to donate it to. But we're not worried about money. We're just worried about furthering the education for youngsters so that people can have this education. We can't live forever, and if the knowledge is gone, it's lost. So you never want to do that. If you have knowledge and you're older, it's your responsibility to pass the knowledge on to the youngsters. So until next time, we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next big one.